Hello everybody and welcome back to My Journey, the series in which I take you along my path to gathering every Trackmania Track of the Day author medal. Starting us out in volume number 10 today, and for my 380th author medal, we have the track Outpost Oasis, which was made by Lentillion, and it was the track of the day on March 31st of 2024. Outpost Oasis is an RPG track, and over 700 players have this author medal as well. It took me 6 minutes to get, finishing with a 44.36. I've been practically begging for a track like this to finally show up, and we finally got one here last month. The RPG transitional style stuff I feel has been greatly missing from Track of the Days, so yeah, very glad to see it show up. Hopefully it was not just a one-off thing and we continue even just getting maybe even one of these styles of tracks once a month. I think that would be great. One thing that did surprise me is this only received a neutral from the community. Maybe the track's just too hard for, the casual base. I'm not too sure. My 381st author medal came on the track Mystery Route, which was made by Shorty, and it was the track of the day on April 1st of 2024. Mystery Route is an LOL track that over 1,100 players have the author medal on. This one took me 6 minutes to get, though this run took me 19 minutes, and I finished with a 38.288. I actually don't hate the concept of this track, but one part of it completely ruins the track for me, and that's after checkpoint 4. We have a chicane with poles. Obviously you can't see anything, the lines are extremely tight during that section, and any crash there is just full stopping you, so it was an extremely frustrating part of the track that honestly, in my opinion, completely ruined it. My 382nd author medal came on the track Forstweg 5, which was made by Aries90, and it was the track of the day on April 8th of 2024. Forstweg 5 is a mixed track, and over 1,100 players have this author medal as well. It took me 32 minutes to get, finishing with a 46.207. I really didn't mind the large majority of this track, but once you get towards the end, it kind of falls apart in my opinion, because you just have way too much speed, and that, in combination with the lack of grip you have on the final turn, it just means you go flying out so easily. It made it rather frustrating and pretty unfun to drive this track, because again, you drive the entire thing just hoping for the last turn to go well. My 383rd author medal came on the track Venice Outrun, which was made by Mr. Pepsi, and it was the track of the day on April 2nd of 2024. Venice Outrun is a grass track, and over 900 players have this author medal. It took me 19 minutes to get, finishing with a 47.572. Overall, I thought this was a decent track, but it does contain something I've had a problem with in this game for quite some time now, and that is kind of the contrast and brightness difference between a lot of the darker surfaces in this game, even including shadows, and it comes more into play in darker areas as well, including this upcoming tunnel here, where pretty much until you enter it, you cannot tell the difference between the floor and the walls there, so it made it very frustrating to try to enter that one because I kept hitting the right side, because again, I just could not tell the difference. My 384th author medal came on the track Gardens of March, which was made by Lighterhorn, and it was the track of the day on April 11th of 2024. Gardens of March is a grass and tech track, and over 900 players have this author medal as well. It took me 17 minutes to get, finishing with a 41.288. This was a very solid track, and I really don't have any complaints about this one. I did struggle a little bit on the couple of tech turns this one has, but I'm just not great at tech in general. I think more players are going to have problems on the end of this one. The downhill grass turns can be a little bit tricky to get if you are not used to the movement going over them. My 385th author medal came on the track Dealership, which was made by Doogie MD, and it was the track of the day on April 6th of 2024. Dealership is a mixed track that about 800 players also have the author medal on. This one took me 30 minutes to get, and I finished with a 41 flat. This one definitely took me much longer than it should have to get, but I was streaming and also streaming very late at night, so being distracted and being very tired is not a great combination. But the track overall was very solid. Highly recommend checking this one out. I also recommend checking out my Twitch channel, link in the description to that. But yeah, very nice track here by Doogie. My 386th author medal came on the track Grysskaal, which was made by Finian 2, and it was the track of the day on April 9th of 2024. Grysskaal was a grass and tech track that about 700 players have the author medal on. This one took me 33 minutes to get, finishing with a 47.364. I wish I enjoyed this track more than I did, because in the first half I found it to be very flowy and very nice to drive, but the longer the track went on, there were a couple of turns in the latter half of it that just felt a little bit off, and this feels like a common theme at this point on the few tracks that we've seen from Finian. The tracks overall are solid, and then there's a couple of turns that kind of throw off the flow the track has, and it results in the track just being not as good as it could have. So still a nice track, but I feel it could have been better. My 387th author medal came on the track Ultima, which was made by Petrus, and it was the track of the day on April 16th of 2024. Ultima is a mixed track, and only about 100 players have this author medal. It took me 3 hours and 57 minutes to get, finishing with a 1 minute and 7.982 seconds. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about on this one, but at least we have plenty of time with it being over a minute long. First of all, this is the hardest track of the day author I have ever gotten, and also the most amount of time I've ever spent to get an author medal, so 2 firsts there. The track in general is very tough, even excluding the author medal being very hard. Yeah, the track is very tough, and I'm sure a large majority of the player base did not find this one to be all that fun, because even the smallest mistake on this one is going to result in the rest of the track just not driving great at all, because you're not going to keep any of the speed you need. And if you watch any of the past episodes in the series on tracks over a minute, I'm generally not the biggest fan of them, but at least this one was pretty good throughout, that it kind of made me forget that it was so long. My 388th author medal came on the track Cave Dwellers, which was made by Biobolical, and it was the track of the day on April 17th of 2024. Cave Dwellers is a mixed track that over 6,500 players have the author medal on. This one took me 47 seconds to get, though this run took me 17 minutes, and I finished with a 45.156. Don't think we'll ever see the contrast in back-to-back tracks that we have here, with me getting the last one in 4 hours basically, and this one in 1 attempt. A huge contrast there. This track was not the greatest. In order to get a proper line into the grass turn, you pretty much need to slam your head against the wall and hope you don't get a slowdown. The track also contains a cut over the reset block, and obviously the big one is the dragon finish, which is just a little bit unfortunate, but rather free author here if you want it. My 389th and final author medal in today's video came on the track Silent Tempest, which was made by Spec, and it was the track of the day on April 20th of 2021. Silent Tempest is a mixed track that about 600 players have the author medal on. It took me 20 minutes to get, finishing with a 42.805. This track kind of suffers from the thing I was talking about earlier with the color and contrast differences in some of the blocks. This time it's not the black blocks though, it is the white ones with white plastic and road, looking pretty similar under certain lighting conditions. So many times on this one I was thinking I was going to be on road, but I was on plastic, kept over sliding. Once you learn it, it's not terrible, but early on when you're driving it, it is pretty annoying. And with that, we will conclude volume number 10 here today, and it's hard to imagine we've done 10 of these already and have gotten over 100 authors, but we got a lot more to go, and I hope you're along for the ride. As always, if you're interested in driving any of the tracks you saw here today, be sure to look in the description, there are links to all of them. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it and subscribe so you don't miss out on future ones. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys all next Sunday with volume number 11.